So, you want to hear a story, huh? Come. I'll tell you everything you need to know.
Skip
On a
this.
planet called Pandora,
Nope.
daring warriors called Vault Hunters scoured the borderlands in search of treasure and power. But they weren't the only ones. Handsome Jack, CEO of Hyperion Corporation, wanted the vault and its secrets for himself. He and his robotic legions held the planet in an iron grip. The leader of the Vault Hunters was a brave man named Roland. He rallied an army of friends and warriors to fight Jack's tyranny. Closest to him was Tina, a young orphaned explosives expert. She's a little, look, she's completely banana sandwich, bonkers, crazy. There was There was Brick, who only thinks with his fists. Mordecai, a sniper who lost his beloved Bloodwing at the hands of Jack. Torg, more explosion than man. Ellie, a master mechanic. And finally, Lilith, a siren gifted with incredible powers. However, she was not the only siren. Jack's daughter, Angel, used her powers to manipulate and betray the Vault Hunters. Though she turned on her father in the end, the damage was done. Jack was defeated, but at a heavy cost. Roland didn't live to see the victory his friends had earned. Sometimes a hero's reward is little more than a gunshot to the back at the hands of a coward. The ones Roland left behind still had much to do. But one little girl had some ideas for a story of her own. Once upon a time, the Vault Hunters played a game.
The world is on the brink of going boom boom. This is our most desperate hour. Unless we make a stand here and now, we gonna die. Now. Roll for initiative!
What's initiative?
It says which order we attack in.
I punched the initiative.
What's going on? I wasn't paying attention.
Tina, why don't you start over?
Welcome, fine ladies, to your first session of the most coolest game in the world, Bunkers and Badasses! As your bunker master, I will be spinning today's tale of fantasy and...
Wait, why the hell are we playing this kid's game?
Oh, you know, maybe because... Shut the hell up, Morty!
Tina? She's right, though. Shut up.
Well, our vault hunting buddies beat the slamma-jamma out of that Hyperion informant downstairs. I thought we could play a game. Now, pick your characters. You got the Necromancer, the Commando, the Siren...
Siren. Dibs. My siren's name is Brick, and she is the prettiest.
Tina, why don't we just start now and figure that out later?
Come on, girl. You know we gotta wait for Roland before we start.
Tina, Roland's... You know Roland's not coming, right? He's not here anymore.
Yeah, he's probably running late or something. We'll just start now. So, like I said... Roll for initiative, suckers!
Alright. Start the game. Why not? I'm sorry about that. That's why I don't really
You
like...
arrive at the docks of Flame Rock
Damn it.
Refuge. This place used to be really nice, until the handsome sorcerer messed everything up.
I say we head toward the town to investigate.
I was gonna say, that's why I normally don't like starting games when I'm supposed to be doing something, because a lot of times the intro and the startup can be a little distracting. Especially with the movies and shit. But, I don't know, I haven't played... I don't have a gun. I mean, weapon. Don't say God. Alright, might as well. I figured I might as well say something different.
It's a lovely day in Flame
the
Rock
normal-
Refuge. A far cry from.
Wait, didn't you just say the sorcerer messed up the town? Why would things be low?
Oh, okay. I need to change that. There we go. 'Cause that shit was annoying. Oh. What? Alright, so... come on. What is this? I'm not really gonna be on... I don't have much like the... I don't know, maybe it's because I'm getting older. Maybe I'm just batshit crazy, I don't know, but I know everybody else is on a lot of different stuff right now. But I'm kind of at the point where it's one of those things where you focus in. So, yeah, shit's going to hell, all this up, but at the same time, there's a couple things that you want to keep in mind. Focus on what you can control. Also, you need to keep your shit together. You need to keep your focus right. Because if you're losing it and shit, you're going to make some horrible decisions. Like Spetnaz, he has, he's in one of his videos, I can't remember exactly which one, but he was talking to like a priest or something like that, and he made a very valid point. And the point was that, you know, as a man, you can't be emotional when you're making decisions. You can't do that. There's too much on the line. Like women and children, yeah, they can, because there's going to be a man or an adult. There's going to be a man somewhere to help them. But you, that's not going to be the case. So you've got to basically not fuck it up. I mean, well, let's be realistic. You do your best. That's why one of my points is self-acceptance. Motherfucker. Because, I mean, we're gonna die. That's gonna happen. I don't give a shit what's going on. I mean, that's one. Did I make sure my goddamn mic was actually working? I don't think I did. One. Yep. Okay. Just had to double check real quick. All right. Where am I going? Here we go. Ah, I forgot my point. Self-acceptance. Yeah, which is really just it's like the not rejecting yourself, the realization that what you need, you know what I mean? Like all the tools, all that shit is internal. Bitch. Aw, man, I'm weak. Is that all that shit's internal, and it's one of the things that in life that was I know I might end up projecting a little bit sometimes to other people, because for me it was actually a huge step. You know, when all those mental barriers, when all that bullshit, I like to call it noise, because that's what it felt like. It felt like a lot of noise. Once all that noise was gone, and I was able to actually like see clear, I was actually able to focus in. I could hear myself. Not all that stuff that was there before, but I could hear me. and I could realize that a lot of these thoughts, a lot of those things, those weren't me. They had nothing to do with me. That shit was irrelevant. In fact, it gained relevance if I allowed it to. God damn. They are really fucking accurate. Holy shit. Oh man, I never know which one to pick. But it seems like it's probably gonna be this one. Yep, probably gonna be this one. But yeah, so once all that noise was gone and I was able to clearly think, which it's not like I'm schizophrenic or some shit. It's just that one of those things where you have all these words. I think an easy, relatable way to put it would be when you're young and you want everyone to like you. So we phrase a lot of that stuff as self-conscious or whatever the fuck. And so it becomes to a point where you always, everything you do, there's this nagging little voice. There's these nagging little thoughts, these nagging little sayings. And for guys who grew up in a household that was heavily female dominated, you know, whoa, what the fuck just happened? Come on, man. Well, yeah. Where everything you do is constantly scrutinized, you're essentially mocked and undermined with consistency. And it's supposed to be a way to break you down. And essentially, it's supposed to enforce, and then reinforce later on that you need to always be working towards acceptance and approval. It's like you hear people like where I've seen some guys talk like this, and I'm kind of an odd duck when it comes to my social life and a lot of things. I'll admit that. So a lot of times it throws me off when I hear guys talk like that, or when they seem to be in that state of, yeah, that's exactly what they're focused on. They're focused on what others think about them, and they're focused on gaining that acceptance. Now, from what I've heard, it normally comes from weakness, which brings up an interesting topic. So as far as strength goes, there isn't one measurement for that. And one of the things that I've noticed is a lot of times, and I kind of, not to be insulting or anything, I'm more put it towards sort of like a childlike thought about it, is that they would immediately associate like physical strength with being strong. So if you're physically strong, but that's not it. strength doesn't go into like just that one aspect. It's not just that. Because your physical strength doesn't mean shit. And we see this. We see this on a daily basis in society, you know. We see it all the time. So you see these guys, they're fit. Oh, I'm trying to remember the video. I don't remember what this dude was, but he was a really, really huge dude. You can tell he's physically strong, whatever. And of course, you can see he's somewhat successful. He's got the money. And this woman, small little woman, basically, it's her birthday. And she's got all her friends around and shit. And something happens where she's pissed off or whatever, and she just grabs the cake and slams it in this dude's face. Like everything's fine. And I know he's sitting there like, well, what the f does that have to do with anything? Well, kind of goes to the point. So, yeah, you can take the hit, and you. All right. And for a lot of those guys, because they always go off the aspect of getting bitches and shit. So, and of course you're obviously physically strong enough and dominant enough to get the woman, right? But as far as your mental strength, they would come into question. Because apparently you're too weak to see yourself out of a situation where you're being treated like that. Which I know a lot of that's, I know there's no objective on anything, but whatever. But my point would be that you would think like, hey, so if, well, we get it. I get it, but yeah. So that one doesn't mean the other. You can be very physically strong, very physically dominant, but as far as mentally goes, you're very weak. And I would say allowing dependence to be fostered could be seen as a form of that too. But I'm always in arguments with myself on whether that's whether it has to deal with weakness or intelligence. But there comes an understanding that if you don't know, you just don't know. Which is one of the things that plays a big part into a lot of stuff, is keeping you ignorant makes it so there's a lot of options that you don't understand are options. And it's not that it's not just stupid. It's literally that you just don't know that those are options. You don't know those are a thing. What? Oh, shit. God damn it. So I think a lot of times we give too much credit to like a lot of these they talk about the elites and they talk about all this shit, and I'm just sitting here like, yeah, that sounds cool, but if you noticed, yeah, once you have sort of your power on the infrastructure, you can control a lot of shit. But really, it starts at home, and it starts like in the communities and shit like that. And we see that more and more. Like especially now, you know, because you've heard people talk about, you know, the vaccines and killing kids and all this shit. And, you know, they start killing kids, it's go time and da da da. And you clearly see that's not true. And one aspect that I immediately was like, hey, I don't know if anybody, if it's registered, but people specifically, let's break it down. Let's go down to, without, you know, let's just look at it for what it is. One, there's no men in anybody's families. And the ones that are there, they're not mentally there. They're pretty much checked out. Like, they don't have any authority. And it's amazing that they're there in the first place. Like, that's why, you know, I don't pay attention to when they talk shit about, like, deadbeat dad and this and all that. I'm like, hey, you can go fuck yourself. Let's pay attention to how this system actually works. And let's also, but, a little caveat. I know this isn't coming out very smooth. But this was actually pointed out to me by a rando NPC. Most people think along moral lines on a lot of shit. They don't actually look at it very logical or analytically. They look at it very morally. So as far as like decision making, politics, again, it's all about, which I understand why, it's on some manipulative bullshit, but again, everyone operates in a self-interest. So if that's what is going to benefit it the most, that's what they're going to go after. Like, that's the route they're going to choose, because again, it's the path of least resistance. They know they have an advantage when they go that route. They know they have an advantage with those tactics over someone who would have an advantage in a different environment. So, and also I just want to point out, I hate that shit, and I'm trying to exercise that shit from me and not do that. And it's not helping because a lot of people everywhere do that shit. I don't know where that's came from, but it's just not. It's like, oh, well, you say but a lot. It's like, I don't mind that one, because I think that has to deal with more of like writing things. More of like, damn it. More of how I write things. Start talking all robotic and shit. Okay, made it to the refuge. Yeah, we did it. But yeah, so there's no men at all, so there's no communities. And the men that are around the communities they do, I mean, look at the morals, look at the values they hold. It's pretty watered down and fucked up. So most people are NPCs anyways, but then now you leave it to children raising children, and I mean the eternal child, the woman, where the government is a man, which again, they don't give a fuck about you. And then now the woman has less of a benefit from investing in you, because guess what? When she's more likely to get taken care of by the government through welfare programs than you. Like, that's a more surefire bet. Like, what if you don't turn out to be that smart? What if you don't get that good of a job, right? So at that point, you kind of just left to the wolves. So who's gonna make these communities, and who's gonna invest, and who's gonna do all this shit? And it's not happening. There's nobody to do that. In fact, the people who would, the men, are not allowed to, because it's this funny little weird thing. So somebody will not want something, not see a benefit in it, until you're after it, until you start interacting with it. Then just because you got to remember, so the value of said whatever object, the subject of our discussion, the value of that increases by your attention, by your involvement. Now, once you're away from that, the value goes down, because now there's no one to push off a lot of that risk and labor onto. That becomes normally of whoever is the most capable that's involving themselves with whatever object it is. And so yeah, it's one of those things where if you think along the lines of a lot of the lies and bullshit people tell you about how people are moral and all that stuff, yeah, then you'll fall for it. And in fact, you won't be able to see it, because you'll have all these mental roadblocks in the way. Now, I don't like that shit, and I don't like it at all, because it leaves it to a point where you're not able to understand why what you're trying to implement or do doesn't work. You're going to keep repeating and going down the path, and your adjustments. See, here's the thing. In your mind, because you're working off this flawed information, your adjustments you think are going to alter the outcome, but anyone, an outside observer, would notice and look and say you're insane or something's mentally wrong with you. Because as far as they're concerned, you didn't make any adjustments. You're still doing the same thing, hoping for different results. So that's one of those things that bothers me. It bothers, befuddles me, all that. Because there's no one who can save you from that. I think I'm bringing it back. Yeah, bringing it back where it needs to be. No one's gonna save you from that. You have to. And what has to happen is there has to be some pain, and not a small amount. I mean, there has to be some ground shaking, pain. Enough pain. Now, you would think physical pain. No, it's not the physical pain that we're talking about here. It has to be psychological, because as human beings, psychologically, we're pussies. We can't take it. We just can't do it. Once the psychological pain, once a lot of that hits up and start turning it up, you turn that shit up to 0.75, and we're like, oh shit, I can't deal with it. I can't do this. Oh man, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get away from this. I feel like I'm dying inside. I feel like I'm gonna destroy myself. All that shit. Oh, goddamn. Are we in a village? I gotta save the townsfolk. Oh, they would come directly for me, right? You don't see any of those people? You don't want to kill any of them? No? Motherfucker! Our reload speed go down? I need to make sure I drink water. Okay. Cool. Now back on track. So yeah, having a clear mind, especially having a clear understanding, can help. But I am 100% aware. I don't know if I'm gonna say 100%. I ain't that great. But I am very aware. All right, I'm very alert. I can see it. I can see it in my sights. That truth is not valued by everybody, in which I can understand, just like what previously talked about. So, for everyone's different. We all have self-interest, which is based a lot on our strengths and weaknesses. So, for us to value the same things, you could value the same. It's not going to be the same amount. It's not going to be the same intensity. Because we're going to see different amounts of output for our input, so for our efforts. There's going to be varying degrees of what we're going to get. And that will change whether we see certain things as worth it or not at all. Like that's just straight up how it is. So one thing that will always be a big differentiator. Is that it? Differentiator? Especially be someone's, I guess, tolerance for social acceptance, their want, their need for, there we go, need for social acceptance. Now, you can call it weakness, you can call it whatever, dependency. That has a lot to do with especially a lot of the funny things we find ourselves frustrated with. Because when you don't need people to a high amount, because let's not play that game like, oh, I'm going to be living in a cave by myself and all, and I'm a dude. I mean, you possibly can, but you know you just cut your chances of surviving high, and so does your mind. Like your brain and body they don't want you to do that shit. They actually want you to increase your chances of survival. What did I do wrong? And you normally do that by good relationships with others that can increase your chances of surviving. Yeah, I don't think that's it. Oh, get permission to enter the forest. Ain't this a bitch? But let's not go off into the... Is this better to do than the grenade I have? Oh, that was lame recoil reduction. What kind of lame shit is that? Well, you gotta think about it. If I can increase my accuracy, then the damage matters. But, you know, if I got a really strong weapon and I'm just all over the place because my recoil and it slows down my rate of fire because I have to make sure my aim is better. So then, yeah, I'm missing more shots. Doesn't matter if they do more damage if I'm getting less on target. Reload speed, yeah, reload speed. Damn. Alright. Wait, why didn't I should have equipped that. Skill unlocked. Awesome. Killing it. I don't have a grenade. I don't have a grenade equipped? Nope. Alright. But a lot of that you can go off in the weeds forever on a lot of that shit. Like that, you can talk about, you know, human psychology, human nature, behavior, all that shit. You could talk about that for years. I mean, that's kind of what we've been doing anyways. And, you know, it is what it is. But the reason why I think it any of that would be relevant to, I guess, I don't know if you could, I don't know what would you call it? I don't know, those with eyes that can see. Is that what it is? Those that we have what that could see. I forgot whose videos with. It was the damn, the Native American dude. What was his name? So now that's gonna bother me because I don't remember. John Wolf. Something like that. I don't get it. What do I do? Do I shoot it? No. Oh. Self-acceptance, and then that was going to tie into awareness, and then being aware with your social. Oh yeah, because you need to be as aware of yourself, your strengths and your weaknesses, and how that affects your behavior and mentality. Now you can't be. That's one thing. You can't be like this super hitting the third person view on myself, just, you know, top down. I get it. I see what I'm doing. It's not, no, but you can reflect and, you know, have a good understanding and really try to just, you don't have to go so fast all the time. You can chill out for a little bit, take a stroll, actually try to get an idea of what's going on, what you're doing, and what it really is. And that, I mean, that, they say that's part of getting older, but really that just comes with you understand the benefits of that. and so you use that to your advantage. Like, I'll still remember when I remember hearing this kid, like, for the first time, because he couldn't use his cell phone or anything like that, and there was no noise going while you're sleeping. And so what it forced you to do was, I know this is going to sound dumb, but actually sit there. Actually, like, you know, either you're going to hear your thoughts, you're going to reflect on stuff, or you're going to shut the fuck up and go to sleep. Which some people, you find that it's actually really hard for them to shut the fuck up. I'm not even making that up. I'm dead serious. Like, shutting up just kicks their ass constantly. They just can't do it. Like, it's just like, holy shit. All right, back to the mission. But it gives you, really, it gives you time to see what you think about things. How something really affected you. And it takes time and practice, just like with any other muscle, to just keep at it. There's another one? Oh yeah, it's right over here. So it's one of those things, again, in life, one of the things we don't want to pay is time, because that's a huge cost. But we have to understand that the things that are worth obtaining, the cost may be high, but it will be worth it. It's just that the results, the benefits, aren't immediately seen. So it takes, again, at that point, it'll take a high, I'm not going to say high level, but it takes a lot of awareness. It takes a lot of sitting back and paying attention. And sometimes don't immediately move on to the next goal. Sometimes take a second, look back, reflect, maybe go back over it again. You know what I mean? God damn it. Just can't leave this place, huh? Yeah, believe me, like, if you're at the point where right now I'm just sort of speaking to you, like, hey, I get it, I know, I've been doing that shit for years, yeah, cool, but talking about a lot of stuff kind of assists yourself. Hearing your thoughts out loud, processing that shit, and really just muddying some things out, you know what I mean? That can be extremely beneficial. Oh, God damn it. So essentially, the only person that can ever unlock your chains is you. Yeah, I know what that just sounded like. But it's true. And there may not be a whole lot of freedom you get to find. Motherfucker. You're getting there. The goal is mental freedom. And then you turning your thoughts. So another point. And it's like a dumb little saying that I have in my head, but I got it from a point where it made sense. So your ideals should only be so as important as they are catalysts for the practical. So they should influence the practical. So as far as they can be implemented in a way that works, cool. But the moment that they are not able, or as in they don't work, as in they give worse results than whatever was already in place, they need to be abandoned. It doesn't have to be every aspect of it, it's just most of it. Woo! We made it to the forest, but there's all these missions over here. What are these missions? So, I know right now everything's. I don't want to use my one key right now. Fuck that. Like level 3 weapons and shit. Nah, I'm good. What? Okay, and then where's that other one? It's like, play something different. It's like, ah, man, this is bullshit. Play something that's supposed to be new, but it's literally the same old game. It's like, oh, this is great. This is awesome. Where's this been? I'm happy they made a new one. Why the fuck would I want to light myself on fire? Oh, no. Now, with saying all that, another point to bring up. Yeah, I know I'm just throwing them at you like a fucking dartboard. But another one to bring up would be to understand. What am I doing? Oh, am I still doing this mission? Oh shit, got a third weapon slot. But damn. Alright. Oh, never fall for that shit where it's like, oh, well, I put in this much effort, this much time now, so I guess... No. Shut the hell up. It's not even a thing. I hear that shit, and what it is just laziness. I know that, and believe me, I'm human too. Surprise, surprise. I know how hard it is to fight. Just being an organism that doesn't, you don't want to waste energy. It's hard to push yourself to do shit, and a lot of times it just goes to the point of just you start off with some willpower and building the habit, and then you just keep doing it, and you're gonna question yourself like, what the fuck am I doing this for? What are the benefits? All this shit. I get it. I understand, but it's like, I don't know. It's just that shit is just, it's a little annoying. Because one, you can't see the fucking future. So that's one of the things that really should get you to the point of letting that shit go. You can't. So you don't know whether what you're doing is going to reap benefits or not, unless there's some clear indication, some information that just altered that. Some verifiable information. Oh. Which is never a problem. If you get new information and that changes your understanding of things, that's perfectly fine, man. You do that. Like, I mean, how many dudes didn't realize, like, hey, did you know all this communism shit is coming up? Like, the government's straight up about to implement a whole digital banking system, and which I was thinking about that, and I'm like, huh, but if a lot of money's digital, so then what would be different? Well, the difference is there's not going to be any threat of you doing shit. So right now, technically, there's somewhat of a threat of like, hey, there's a possibility we do this, and these people are going to try to fucking kill us. God damn. I have a grenade. Take that. God damn. Yep. Low level scrub shit. Fucking tree made me forget what I was talking about. God damn it. What was it? I need another weapon. Damn. Oh, yeah. So you can't see the future. But it's perfectly fine to change course when you get new information. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, I've ran into a lot of older guys where that's kind of dumb. Just slow moving trees. I don't even shoot anything or anything. Where I notice, and again, this again, once, and to each their own, you know what I mean. But for me, once I came into like the understanding, like, hey, it's all self-interest. So pay attention to what somebody's saying. And again, if you find yourself where you're at a disagreement or you're like, hey, I don't like that, ask yourself why. Ask yourself the difference between the person who's stating those things that you have an issue with and you yourself. Your particular points of view, what they're actually stating, which can be a little tricky because people in their fucking word games and bullshit, but actually look at it. And so a lot of times, people want to speak from a point that puts them at an advantage. So, there might be a guy, let's say, you just code of this company. He's been there for like 20 years or some shit. So that's one of his big talking points. Would be like this longevity, this the stability of this and that. You know, that's one of the things he likes to bring up constantly, because that is what puts him at an advantageous position. Like when that is looked at as a benefit, which it would be, like I could see why it would be, which I still have my qualms about that with certain shit. Because if you're a lazy piece of shit who's retarded and doesn't try to keep up your skills or anything, it doesn't matter. Like there's still no real benefit to you being. So you're a lazy piece of shit who's around, so we can reliably have you here, half-assedly doing your job, like you're barely competent. Great. So is this an enemy or? But it shows up as one. All right, cool. But still, we're all going to always fall back on what we perceive as, our self-interest, what benefits us. So if you're a person who doesn't have, like, that long of time and wherever it may be or what have you, you'd probably try to highlight different elements you seeing as more important. Ultimately, I say that in reality, it should go towards whatever the set goal of that environment is. So whatever we'll be seeing as like, hey, we do this, and so our main goal is to do this, and our main priority of that goal was always this, then yeah, that would, oh, I don't need that. And that was like the vaguest fucking analogy ever. So yeah, you got some stuff, and then there's some things. And of course, that's how it works, man. You get it, right? All right, cool. Moving on. Slam dunk that one right there. Oh. Oh, look, more slow-ass moving trees. Well, no, so a lot of that stuff I'm talking about is because when we talk about things like, all right, so like for how long around the manosphere you talk about, hey, you got to do this, you got to do that. But I don't know, I ain't been paying attention for a while. So from what I could tell before, though, there wasn't really much focus on a lot of the mental aspects. What? That's going to help you on your path to mental freedom. A lot of it seems like, which I get it, the male sex drive is a motherfucker. And so a lot of dudes, like, let's be honest, especially when we're young, our attention is going to be more towards what'll get what our brains are pretty much having us focus on, and that would be sex. Oh. Is that me? So what's the difference between this one and that one? This one says it's better. I'll just take this one and sell it. Man, this little bird is following the shit out of me. So yeah, I can see where a lot of that is, a lot of the discussion will be tailored towards that, because that's what will keep their attention. Like if you're trying, like let's say it's like, hey, I'm trying to help these dudes so they can live a better life. But again, as far as what type of life you want to lead, that's going to depend on the individual. And you know, you got a lot of guys, and again, this is not. Again, I can't really like I pointed out before. You can't really blame somebody for this. So if you not knowing doesn't mean you're stupid. And one thing that is you can sorry, it shouldn't be funny to me, but it is. And so one thing that is always going to be the case is people masking their intentions. So they're going to mask their intentions, and it's for a reason. So if I make my intentions clear, it can make what I'm trying to get done a lot more difficult. Especially when you realize that what I want to get done benefits me, but you're going to be at a loss. So it comes at a cost to you, but a benefit to me. Now, at that point, I'm your opposition. That's what I've just declared myself as a threat to your benefit, a threat to your longevity, a threat to whatever it happens to be. Oh, it's poisonous. It's that a bitch. So yeah, there's a reason why. And also another thing, once a person understands the full cost of something, it doesn't matter what the fuck they've got to say. Woo. Once it's in your mind, you're eventually gonna feel it. Like it's eventually gonna come to you where you're gonna be like, I just don't fucking feel like this. Because you realize that what you're putting in, you're not gonna get shit out. Or you're not gonna get what you want. It's not in yourself. Not in your, as far as you're concerned, it's not in your best interest. Self-interest, best interest. It's made of Tabata. Woo! Let's go! Hell yeah, brother! I never met a person. Well, no, I've met plenty of dudes who say brother. They're normally like middle-aged white dudes. I think that generation is like almost gone. I don't know. Is a thing like you call black dudes brother, or maybe everybody called each other brother at some point and it just went away. They're just all pissed off and sad that it's not still going on. I don't know. Oh, all right. So I'm not going in there? It's not. Yeah, so once you understand the full cost of something, it's going to alter your view of a lot of different things. So information especially can alter your focus. Now once your focus is altered, that changes your emotional state, and that can change your view of reality. Hence you notice all those things, what they have in common, where you would want to alter what somebody understands. Oh no, it's orcs! They just fucking extend? Is that what it did? Good thing I got this fire weapon. Aha. Woo! I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. But yeah, you see this shit all the time, and one of the like what I'm about to point out now, one of the easiest points of reference for dudes is marriage. So they say marriage gives you all these benefits, which now we're starting to see more and more that that's not true. Now here's the thing: the kicker for me is because we used to talk about this years back. It's like, hey, how about you just look around? Like, instead of like pay attention, start having stop. You don't like, again, you could be a regular human, you could be normal and just have conversations with people and listen to them and not spout out your views and all this shit. And yeah, you'll actually observe some shit. And one thing I like to do, I used to like to do, and I still do it. So I guess I like to do. I observe, just listen. I don't talk a lot. Like doing this, yeah, I'll talk long as hell. You know what I mean? Because I don't get to talk about this shit anywhere. It's not safe for society if you wanna, I don't know. Motherfucker. Stay alive. What else? Will keep your freedom and your health about you. You might want to not talk about reality so bluntly and openly. We got a lot, because again, just a simple fact of life. It doesn't matter if you're all civil. You should not be assaulted for your words. That's not how it works. Like, that's why they have that little dumbass saying, talk shit, get hit. Like, one of the things I noticed growing up was as I got older, going through puberty and shit like that, I could actually speak a lot more freely. I could use the word no and an ass whooping wouldn't follow. Ain't that some shit, right? It's like, oh snaps. It's like, when I stop being weak, I stop being a fucking slave and getting abused. Isn't that crazy? Then people just find different ways to dominate you. Like, you see that in a lot of black communities and shit. So because black men fall inevitably into a lot of different traps, which again, cesspool of their own making. Like, especially when your parents in your own community and culture are pretty much out to fuck you over and basically trap you, you kind of realize, like, hey, I probably need to get the fuck away from these people. I don't think anything good is here for me. And yeah, that's exactly what it is. So some wisen up and get the fuck on, others don't. It just is what it is. This shoots a lot faster. I'm gonna try this for a while. And so what'll happen nowadays, especially because of a lot of affirmative action, a lot of black guys, they go towards drugs, crimes. They get shit on the record. DV especially is a big one. I've tried to talk to a lot of younger dudes on my journey, you know, in different places and shit. Like, hey, you want to date and everything. I don't tell them to stay away from women. You know, fuck that noise. You just, hey, do what you do. But I try to let them know, like, hey, yeah, you want some of these decent jobs and shit like that. You want to be employable. You don't want to have to worry about, a lot of issues with unemployment and stuff. One of the things you got to be wary about is if you get a domestic violence charge, there's a lot of things you're not doing. You're not having a gun, I'll tell you that. Weapon, sorry. God damn. Even as you're dying, you fucking bitch. Do acid. Oh, I knew it was another one. Fucker. Yeah, there's some things, once you get them on your record, essentially you're fucked. And that's literally just how that shit goes. And the only person who can help you not get that shit on your record is you. And one thing I noticed when I was growing up is the quickest ways for your, like basically I would say that all the time, like the quickest way to hell or jail is gonna be a woman. Like that's just straight up it. Like I just noticed that shit so much. And as far as noticing, like a lot of, like that's why a lot of stuff wasn't hard for me to grasp and really, you know, be like, hey, yeah, that probably is true. Like I remember there was this, I don't remember the exact details of the day, but I do remember this because this sticks out. So long story short, essentially my niece had lied on the school teacher and said that he had like inappropriately touched her, molested her, something like that. You know what I mean? Like it was, oh, it's serious. Well, it turns out he was like a gay married dude. So that's what saved him. And essentially, it was just the same reason why women always cry that shit. It's like, hey, there's like some annoyance and responsibility, so I'm gonna just go ahead and ruin your fucking life, because that way it'll make my life easier. Again, self-interest, that's what everybody works on, so, you know, it is what it is. I mean, you don't want to be on the end of that shit, where somebody's accusing you of something, and then now it's like, holy shit. Somebody, like, I don't know what's happening, but I'm not making it to prison. So we're going to have to figure some shit out. So, yeah, it's, what the fuck. Yes, but you see shit like that. And again, this idea was like, oh, they're just a kid and da-da-da. I'm like, hey, I'm pretty sure, one, when they always talk about kids are impressionable and all this other shit, all right, so then they learned it from somewhere. Oh, damn, did I just spin something I wasn't trying to spin? Motherfucker. Oh, look, shotguns. But it comes to a point where, one, clearly they learned that shit from somebody. Somebody told them that that's an option they can do. They can use that option. And so they exercised it. Now you ask yourself, who's gonna, who? Motherfucker. I need to kill this dude because he's like really high level. I don't think I have enough ammo though. But no, one of the things that's really fucked up is so, and like, you pretty much notice this with a lot of the Awaken While Married dudes. It's like, you're there. Like, you're just there. That's it. You're there. And you want to get the fuck away. But how? And also, and here's the more fucked up part, is getting away even in your best interest. Like, what if it turns out that you should probably just stay, and then maybe over time, which again, I don't know how that would work out, but maybe it is. Maybe that's your best option, unfortunately. Because I've heard that recommended. Oh, goddamn. Damn, that was my last grenade. But yeah, shit like that kind of lets you know what it is. Like, there's a lot of different things that'll kind of hit your head, but you just realize, like, oh shit, I'm in it. Like, there's no like, there was never anything to prepare you for it. Just like, no, this is what it is. This is you. This is how this affects you. This is how, and as far as interaction goes, this is what you can do to protect yourself. And you realize the options aren't, there aren't very many. Oh look, we got some ammo for that. Yeah. Woo. But then, that's one of the great things though. So since, as a human, you know what I mean, you're different. You've got your own strength, weaknesses, your own self-interest, and especially mentally. So, mentally, if you're not holding yourself to, well, one of the main things that I always looked at is moral chains. So, because that's one of the big issues is, oh, is that moral? Is this morally this? It has to follow these lines. There's a lot of options, different opportunities, and paths that get taken off the table. There's a lot of things that would benefit you that a lot of guys that just immediately move off the table. So it becomes an issue where, again, I know it's gonna eventually get tiring, but it's you. You end up becoming one of the biggest roadblocks towards anything. Like, you're literally eliminating shit. Like, there's like again, a lot of people have a certain feeling about lying, but from what I've noticed in my observations, as far as it goes, people's biggest qualm with lying is when it becomes known that it's happening. That's it. Like, that's their biggest qualms with it, is when it becomes known that deceit is happening. It's like, no, but it's got to be. It's like, yeah, I wish it was some other shit too, but it's not. Oh, because this one. Can't compare it. Oh, it is worse. And you notice it more and more, and so it doesn't want, no one wants to say it out loud, but even though you can tell, and it clearly can be acknowledged in different ways, that yeah, it's fucking true. That no, they don't have a problem lying. It's just that when you get caught, that's the issue. So I thought it was funny, you know, when I started realizing people acknowledging. It's like, and after a while, it's like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. You got something else? Well, here's the thing. For everybody, they don't see it. They can't see that, hey, a lot of that shit you're told, that's not how it's actually going. What the fuck? Bitch. Does everybody have throwing axes? All right. Like a lot of stuff we talk about in the manosphere. So, like how women are retarded children. You think you'd be like, oh, a lot of these guys don't know. No, they know. Oh, a lot of young men, they don't have role models and all. They know. They just don't give a fuck. Like, as far as they're concerned, they're going to see it in their benefit to push that young dude, hey, let's serve his ass up. That'll help me out, especially so I can get my fucking retirement, my Social Security, but whatever the fuck they're after. So it's one of those things where if you got eyes to, what was it? Eyes to see and ears to hear. Yeah, I just asked what that. Oh shit, it's from Zelda, right? Ah. I forgot to reload. Oh, bullshit. They can't even see me. Oh, they're right there. That's just under the. Calm down. All right. Anyways, yeah, it's one of those things where, you know, it'd be nice if you had somebody to tell you, sort of coach you, guide you, but you don't. So you got to find out the hard way. Damn. Alright, that machine gun runs out of ammo really fast. Oh man, I didn't even know that barrel was there! But I say not to go off too long on that, but I say one of the most important things that you can grab from a lot of that is understanding how your reaction to things, right? So how things affect you. Like I was paying attention the other day, and again, so you know, dudes always taking pot shots at each other. They want to shit test and all this other stuff. And this is something I didn't even realize I had gotten to the point of, because a lot of people's bullshit, the comments, the everything, it's water off a duck's ass. I don't care. Because one, I'd have to care about your opinion, and it came to the point where I tried to even pretend it's not very well, I can't do it very well. I'm not a good actor. So instead, I'd have to basically direct it in a different manner. Because, again, that's how people are. They don't like what they don't understand, and they don't like who they can't control. That's just how it always is and how it always will be. And so basically, the person made this comment, and I pretty much just ignored it and went on about discussing something in the manner that I was already trying to discuss it. So essentially, I like to always mentally see it as sort of like you just stepped over something. Like you acted like it wasn't there. It didn't break your stride. It didn't bother you. Now, people don't like that because it might hurt their egos or whatever because they think they're fucking funny or, you know, to them it's a form. Oh yeah, damn. Come on, man, he's magic. At least the machine gun was more accurate. Oh, there's another one? Come on, man. What? What? I did not see that coming. That he fucking had eye lasers. Holy shit. That got me. Got me real good. It's better than mine? Hell yeah, it is. God damn. Just hit me with a big ass axe. Fuck you too. That was my last grenade. And he's coming back to life? Almost out of ammo. Woo! Yeah, but it took, I didn't even realize that came to a point where that was there. And essentially, it let me know also that, yeah, even the feeling of pretending, gone. No point in doing it. And you know, you ask yourself like, oh, is something wrong? Is that an issue? Not really, honestly. It just after at a certain point, you get an understanding of your worth, the environment, and what's the worst that could really happen to you. And just like understanding the full cost. So there's certain things that because of my experiences, who I am, Etsy, I'm willing to deal with that shit. I'm willing to pay that cost. Now, you on the other hand, that may not be the case. So in that instance, aspects of my philosophy that I follow won't work for you. Hence why you should make your own. And you should work on cultivating your own with the goal of living the life that you want to live. And essentially, I like to put it as you remember, yeah, you're going to die, right? So you understand that your time is finite, it can go at any moment. But within that, that increases the value of what you do, how you spend it, shit like that. So some people always take this negative, dark look to things. I don't know where they're getting that shit from. Look, just because you were taught a certain way and things have a certain connotation when they were taught to you doesn't mean that's how they always have to stay for you. Now, when you're communicating to someone, you of course have to keep in part of your, you know, in your vision, like, hey, they may not see things the same way. So when I'm speaking to them, I have to pick and choose so I can effectively communicate with them, so I can effectively put forth what it is exactly I'm trying to convey. You know what I mean? So in that situation, yeah. But within your own mind, you have to understand. So in your own mind, that's you. That's yours. Up there. Nobody gets to get up there. Now, one thing I find a lot of guys have a problem with is just because you think it doesn't mean you need to say it. Just because you know it doesn't mean you need to share it. Now, this isn't me telling you to shut the fuck up. This is me saying, hey, act with a little bit more tact and strategy. All right, just go ahead and sell those later. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, if you keep holding yourself to these weird-ass moral standards that benefit everybody else at the expense of you, all you're going to find yourself is constantly not getting what you want. You're not going to be living the life that you're trying to live or any of that shit. You're not going to be accomplishing your goals effectively either. You're going to find that it costs you way more than it should to get things done. And again, that's whatever it may be. You may have a goal like you just want to get super high level at World of Warcraft and do your raids and all that type of shit. That's cool, to each their own, but in that understanding that means there are other things in your life. There are different areas of your life where you have to conduct yourself in a certain manner. You have to have a certain level of effectiveness so that you can be able to invest in those other goals. So you can be able to get those things done. And that's just how it is. That doesn't have to do with anybody's values or shit. That's life. That's how that works. And if you don't want to do that, that's fine. That's cool. But you have to understand the cost of that decision you're making. What is that? God damn. Holy shit. And it killed absolutely nobody. I know you're there. So yeah. Whoop whoop. Now, I did have some articles, but I can't do this and that at the same time. And also, there's nothing new. There's nothing you'd be surprised about. Same old shit. Let me think. I think there was one. Gotta get some ammo first. No? Yes? Hell no? Hell yes? That's why, because it uses... No, it doesn't. It just have a 20 in it. Nope. Yep. No. I don't know. Alright. Let's finish this shit. Head to bed. Try to wake up early, get my workout on. Which, yeah, that's one you could use right there as a point of view. So, exercising, you're like, you know, you're getting your muscles on. You're trying to get your. I don't really look at it as a thing for longevity, because that's not essentially. You can say that, but that's not always what it's going to be. Oh, so I have to go back? Ain't this a bitch? I look at it as maintenance, honestly. You just, oh yes, I'm just trying to keep this shit operating. God damn. Also, people leave you alone a lot more when you can clearly kill them with your bare hands. It was like the point I was pointing out now. It's like, yeah, why won't they do all that shit now? Well, it's because the chance that there's a chance that there will be consequences for it. So they don't want to, like, hey, I don't know. Do they still have their guns? I don't know. We can wait on that shit. But yeah, but once that happens, once they know, like, hey, you're not going to do shit, then yeah, it's crack-a-lack-it. It's all the popping. Going the right way? So yeah, it's funny how people will respond to incentives and constraints, and they damn sure respond to consequences. So when there aren't any consequences, you can expect some really shitty behavior. Am I able to go? Well, what do I do to, I don't know, man. Do your best. Try to be flexible. I mean, I would say meet some solid people, but it's not that easy. It's never that easy. If that was the case, you'd probably already know him now. And honestly, like, if you're like me, well, one, I ain't got no family. That shit, hey, the welfare state and all that destroyed the black community. Black culture is completely dog shit. I can't associate, I will not associate with a good majority of damn near all other black people. And it's just because even if I meet someone, let's say they seem rational, they seem well put together, their associations are dog shit. The people they keep around are dog shit. They celebrate some aspect of that culture, and those behaviors shine bright. And at that point, it's like, nah, fuck that. And then I see how, because I'm of the same race, how I'm looked at. And it's not in a manner of, oh, we have something in common. It's more of like, fucking prey or something. Like, it becomes real apparent when I see that shit. Like that heightened level of aggression. God damn. You know, it's easy for somebody to put it back on. I think it's just a cut of your jib, how I walk. One, go fuck yourself. How the fuck is how I walk and how I say hello? It's like, yeah, you're clearly not one of us. It's like, I think that's you having an issue with me. God damn it. Man, he's really fucking me up. Alright. I don't know. What's this? Woo! Oh, I'm pretty tired. I mean, I guess the whole point is what I'm putting forth is just like the front little image says, you know, you can be destroyed, which, I mean, that was going to happen anyways. But just try not to allow yourself to be defeated. And one of the easiest ways for that to happen is for you to essentially just give up. Now, one of the things I don't like is giving up seems to always be, it's someone else telling you that you're giving up. It's always someone else pointing that out, which is highly fucking annoying. And it's suspect as fuck if you think about it. Because I would think if anyone on this goddamn planet knows what you're doing, it would be you. Oh, wrong place. Oh, damn, these guys are annoying. Fucking backflips and shit. Twirly moves. Y'all fucking fancy. Holy shit! Laser beams. So yeah, changing your path or what you're doing, or maybe again you got some information, change some shit up. Or what if you're just saying fuck it? It's like, hey, you know what? I don't want to do that shit anymore. I'm gonna do something different. That's it. Again, which I know it's not for everybody. That whole, self-control and self-ownership shit. I get it. Try not to lose your head. Up. Holy shit, that's inaccurate. I'm dead. Take my grenade. Woo! Alright. Fucking end it there. Just end it. Stop wasting the time. Alright. Just stay free. I don't know. Like, try not to. I don't know. Die how you want. Live how you want. It's your life. That's actually the whole point. It's your life. So, alright, peace.